You're watching DFCC Know and Grow on thepoppery.com, and today we have the privilege of having with us one of the esteemed sports personnel in Sri Lanka and one of the double internationals in the country, the living legend Summa Navaratnam. Thank you very much for joining with us, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's absolutely brilliant to have you here. You've been a person who excelled in two major sports, and going back, you were dubbed as the fastest man in Asia when it comes to athletics, so for your 100-meter heroics.
Yeah.
And also you were a member of the Sri Lankan national rugby football team. How did you manage to balance these two acts?
Well, as a matter of fact, we would always clash. I can remember taking part in athletic meet and then running over or cycling over to play in an international rugby match. That was in 1954, 55, that time. So I should combine the two, because athletics was a good, what shall I say, it helped me in my rugby, so I was able to do both.
Your first love, if I am correct, was athletics, where you...
Athletics I started when I was very young. I was about 8 or 9 years when I won the first the teaspoon race or whatever it is. I was 8 or 9 years old. I was all primary at that time. And then the athletes came, it was natural, and I took part in all the sports meets I could, all the inter-house sports meets.
Looking back, we see that in 1944, 46 and 47, you've won the Whitten-Bartlett Trophy.
That's right. I just left school and I took part in the 100 and 200 internationals. And I think I won the Whitten-Bartlett for the 100 meters, I think.
100 meters,
that's 100 meters, yeah. Actually, I started when I was in school. I did the inter-school 400 meters. It was 440 yards then, and the 100 yards. Then it changed to meters later. So, well, 100 meters was my pet event.
How did you grow into be a sprinter from the 400 yards? Because
no, I was a sprinter first, but 440 yards was only inter-school meet at that time.
Okay.
It was 1942. And then from there I switched on to, when I went for nationals, it was 100 and 200. 400 I didn't like at all. Right. I disliked that race. But I prefer the 100 and the 200.
So you as an athlete, you prefer to be on the edge, be a sprinter and exploit the speed, is it?
Yeah, I had to do 100 meters. I prefer the 100 even to the 200.
Even to the 200.
And I was able to achieve what I wanted at that time. Could have done more, but the trouble was that the grounds are not already that good. We were always running on grass track. There was no cinders, nothing.
There you go. He would have wanted to do more, but remember in 1952 in the Madras State Games, Mr. Navaratnam achieves 10.4 seconds for the 100 yards, and that
no,
time...
the 100 meters.
100 meters, I beg your pardon.
So, that was all meters.
So 10.4 seconds for 100 meters is still an absolutely brilliant timing, and we wonder why you didn't turn up for the Olympics.
I would have run in the Olympics, but I was concerned. The doctor, my coach who was a doctor, had advised the selection committee that I was medically unfit to go. But I don't know what the reason was. But I presume there was a reason which I can't mention.
All right, so there you go, some politics even back in the day.
Oh God, yes, nepotism was the highest order at that time as well.
And unfortunately it still is now, but this setback did not unsettle this great personality who is a legend, and he graduates on to another sport while at Royal College. Rugby football it was. In 1939 you take part in the inter-school, inter-house tournaments and take on rugby as a sport.
Not 1939.
1939, that's right.
I was just 14 plus. And then rugby was introduced to, I was playing in Royal College, and I played in the second 15 at that time for the Royal College. And 1940, when I won my athletic colours, I played in the first 15.
First 15 team, and he has achieved many landmarks when it comes to both sports, athletics and rugby, but one landmark he's very proud of, even before we started filming, was that in 1941 you were a member of the team that first beat Trinity College.
Yeah, I was we played at the Royal College grounds, and I can remember that game very well. I was in the team and I played quite well, I think. Well, I can be modest, but also I gave the only score to Trinity when I held on to the ball a bit too long and they got a penalty. And we won the match from 12-3 or something. And that 3 points was given because of me.
Being very modest, and you went on to represent Sri Lanka in athletics and also in rugby after graduating from Royal College. And what I see here is that as soon as you left school, you take on the responsibility of coaching. In 1947, you start coaching athletics.
Yes, I coached Royal College in athletics, and I can remember that we won the Carpet and Jefferson that year. And in the years I represented Royal, that's 1940 and 41. 42 there was no inter-school, and 43 we won the Carpet and Jefferson champion school. And then when I left school, I coached I helped in the coaching of athletics. Mr. Bruin was coaching the master, and I helped him in the.
And what was the reason for you to get into coaching at such a young age? Because you were in your prime, especially in both sports, in athletics and also rugby. What was the reason that drove you to?
I loved athletics at that time, you see, but rugby was just another pastime, so I was not. It was friendly games those days, and I was not that interested in rugby till I was forced to join the CRNFC. I used to play actually for the Colombo clubs. That was a team during the war. It was a combined CHCR, Havelocks and the police all combined and played together as the Colombo clubs.
This is when you represented club
before that. Then thereafter that I started representing Sri Lanka.
Okay.
When I was here, I can't remember the date.
So Colombo clubs is the time that you represented that team which played against the British Lions, I believe.
No, not the Colombo. It was the Sri Lanka side.
With the Sri
Lanka side in 51.
All right.
I think 50 or 51. I can't
1951 it is.
1951 against the British Lions.
And you said you weren't that interested in rugby, but
no, it was a game that I was not that serious about the game. If I got selected, I played. Otherwise, just left out.
But your main focus was on athletics to excel as an athlete.
That's right.
All right. And also, Mr. Navaratnam, going on from athletics to rugby, you represented Sri Lanka, and then you continued your rugby at CRNFC as a club rugby player. Looking back at those days up to now, how do you think the transition of club rugby has happened? How do you think? How do you see the difference in the game played now?
That's a very good question, because the game has changed so much so that the talent and the expertise of individuals is gone now. It's all teamwork and all. Now earlier you could spot talent by their speed. Athletics was very important, and the speed of players and their game skill was spotted. Now there is nothing there. It's all first phase, second phase, third phase, and all the players look alike. And soon there might come a time soon when all the players will be like forwards. That's what I feel, and that's going to be bad for the game of rugby.
Game of rugby. And Mr. Navaratnam, you are very much involved still with the runnings of rugby, because you are in charge of the Royal College Summa Navaratnam Rugby Academy, which overlooks grade 1s and 2s, if I'm not wrong.
No, it was grade 1 and 2. That's right, grade 1 and 2. Early it was under 10, under 12. Then we shifted, then the professional coaches came in. I shifted on to amateur distinct, grade 1 and 2, which was not accepted by the paid coaches. So I took up and started, it was given to me to start all this.
So he says he moved on to grade 1 and 2. So remember, this is the time that you fall in love with rugby. The grade 1s and 2s, those boys are, those young kids are the ones who would try their luck at rugby, and it's your responsibility to make sure that they fall in love with rugby.
It is not rugby now. The academy doesn't stick to rugby alone. You see, we start off with tennis ball, then we get on to the football and the basketball. Then there is also athletics training, and the last is rugby. you see, so that they are tuned for any sport. I mean, they reach the age of 14 or 15 to go to any sport they want, any discipline, not only stick to rugby. So rugby comes in the third term of the year.
All right.
That's right. And then they start developing, and then we start participating in international. We take them to, now last 2 years, we have taken them to Singapore to participate in the Centaurs International Mini Rugby Carnival. And that helps them to uplift their game, exposure at that age. Some are against it, but I am for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Some are again taking the young boys on these carnival trips.
But that's the exposure that they get at a young age.
And that's the age that they forget about fearing any foreign player. And so that comes in useful as they come along into the...
Absolutely. That we think is a problem that we've had going forward, because the exposure that the Sri Lankans get playing against the foreign players is a problem that we've had.
That's why we kept losing early in the thing, because we never played against them. We wanted the foreign players to play with us. So we used to pass the ball, our players would pass the ball to the foreign players, and those players running. While they just, what's the match? So, but playing against foreign teams all the time is very good.
There wouldn't be anyone better to ask about the Bradby. We are almost close to 2017's edition of Bradby. 2015 you were a guest of honor at the Bradby. I remember you being introduced to the players as well. Mr. Navaratnam, this time around, what are your thoughts on Bradby, and how do you think that will unfold?
Well, watching, I have not seen Infinity play this year, but from the reports I hear, they've got a very good chance. But Royal, that's the unexpected. You can never know what's going to happen. But unfortunately, in my opinion, the time factor of players now in this heat is 40 minutes and a half is too much. Especially the kids. I mean, they're all 19 years old. And I think 30 minutes is the ideal for them, not 40. And that's why I don't know if they're going to change it or not, but I hope they'll change it, because the boys can't. I can remember one match recently, both Royal and the opposite side almost gave up at the last 10 minutes. They both tired and the injury started taking place. When they are tired, they tend to go high tackles, and do the wrong thing. So even the good rugby they have learned is forgotten, because they are too tired. So my opinion, they should get back to 30 minutes of the game.
Navaratnam, it's been an absolute pleasure and honor to be speaking with you today. Thank you for sparing your time for the Papare.com to have this small chat and explain to our viewers how you manage the two international careers.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for all that.
Thank you so much.